Let us bring in Joe Concha, Fox News contributor and author of the book that begins with, "Come on, man." The rest of the title's along. Joe, would Dems do better in the midterms? I don't know if, say, Joe Biden said, I'm dragging down the party. I'm out. I'm just going to spend the rest of my presidency beginning today, hanging out in Delaware.
That's an interesting scenario. I think that would be a white flag of surrender, Todd. So he's not going to do anything that would then make the news cycle all about how Joe Biden's not running for president again. It'll look like they're saying, all right, we're defeated. Don't bother voting for us. But I don't think he runs in 2024. I just think that announcement comes after the midterms, probably sometime in early 2023. But when 7 in 10 voters believe that the country is headed in the wrong direction, guys, when a solid majority of Democrats do not want a Joe Biden sequel and don't want him to seek a second term. The last thing that candidates like Tim Ryan want in swing states like Ohio is to create an easy campaign ad, right? And appear with the president that is responsible for 40-year high inflation, soaring gas prices like you guys have been talking about, and a wide open border, Ashley.
Well, Joe, this is a real kicker. The Biden administration is paying $265,000 a year to staff members whose job is to deflect Hunter stories and Republican-led investigations. So the deputy counsel to the president is being paid $155,000 to oversee responses to subpoenas and oversight efforts, while the special assistant to the president is paid $110,000 to focus on responding to congressional investigations. It's also important to note that one of these people actually worked on VP Harris's presidential campaign, and you know how that turned out. With everything that happened last week, with all of this imminent, chance of Hunter Biden being potentially charged, they might have their hands full.
Wow. The person who worked on Kamala Harris's 2020 campaign. It's funny they call it the 2020 campaign of Kamala Harris when she didn't even get to 2020. She dropped out in December of 2019. And this was somebody who was seen as one of the favorites going in. But if you're saying that, wow, an administration that once created the Disinformation Governance Board is now paying people to try to squash a story that isn't remotely going away. Shut the front door, right? And by the way, we've seen this movie before in October 2020 when highly placed activists at Facebook and Twitter, they suppressed and censored the Hunter Biden laptop story when it first broke, courtesy of the New York Post. Look, when the GOP takes back the House, and it's increasingly looking like that will absolutely be the case, they will launch investigations and hearings into Hunter Biden, the contents of that laptop, and most importantly, who is the big guy that Tony Bobulinski, Hunter Biden's primary business partner, said benefited in terms of getting 10% of profits from influence peddling in places like China and Ukraine. He says that is the sitting president of the United States. And then the big question is Joe Biden compromised by countries like China and Ukraine? We will find out probably early next year when those hearings launch, guys.
Unless I missed something, I didn't know Hunter Biden was a federal employee. I don't understand why your taxpayer dollars are going to pay to run cover for a non-federal employee. But maybe that'll be a topic of Joe's second book. Come on, men. Plural.
Thanks,
Come
Joe.
on, G-men, Todd. Great win for you guys yesterday in England.
My gosh.
That's why Toddy Boy's happy. Joe, thanks.
Thanks.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.